Hello and welcome to another exercise video tutorial. Today we're going to look at upper body strengthening moves, exercises in a standing position. So let's get to it. First of all, we're going to look at a pressing motion. Pressing motion is going to be working the chest, the front of the shoulder and the back of the arm. This can be handy for reaction speeds of bringing our arms out, grabbing onto things. It could be pushing your child or grandchild on a swing, helping to push a trolley or a heavy load in front of you, or just helping to push yourself up off the floor after you're doing any everyday tasks or playing with children, grandchildren and such. As long as you have a safe wall that's not going to go anywhere, that hasn't got any hazardous items on the wall, and we've got a clear space beneath us, beneath our feet, then we're good to do this move called the wall press. So this is a body weight move, no equipment needed. What I'll do is I would just take just a healthy stance away from the wall so that our arms aren't at lockout when we're trying to get towards the wall, just so we've got a little bend in our elbows and we feel nice and secure. Then the main thing that you want to do is you want to have your hands level so horizontally level with your chest. You don't want to be pressing up here, you don't want to be pressing your face. So let's have a look at this move. Show you a few repetitions. Hopefully you can hear my breathing. So the main points we go over, there's different ways that you can do this. Probably one of the main risks is me losing on my grip on the wall and face planting the wall, which would never be a good day at the home exercise office. Another thing that we want to be aware of is hips coming into the wall. That just never looks very good. So it's all those posture points again. So before we start, even though we've got our hands on the wall, elbows aren't locked out, I'm just tucking my tailbone underneath my shoulders. I'm looking straight forward, my hands are level with my chest, and then I'm moving my whole body towards the wall as if it were one solid plank of wood, for instance. I've got my heels on the floor. It may be, for some of us, it might be that coming up on the toes, it's a little bit easier. But that all depends on you and how your ankles feel, how the move feels for you. The main thing is keeping those elbows so they're level pressing with the chest and they're not pressing up here with the shoulders. That's going to put a lot of tension in your neck. So that's a fantastic pressing move there. We come back to our resistance bands, where we're going to have a link in the description below where anyone that's on the exercise referral scheme or any of the brother-sister classes that run alongside the scheme, you can click on the email link below and order a free exercise referral band to use at home when home exercise may be more of a prevalent activity in your life at the moment. So, very versatile, especially in a standing position. So we've got the band here. Probably the easiest way to go about this, have I got my feet in shot? Let's just ever so slightly change that camera for you guys, just so you can see the feet. There we go, that's fantastic. So we can just lay this on the floor. All we have to do, one foot comes in, and we already know, but I will say again, just in case, the more tension in the band, so the further down I hold, the harder this move is going to be. And basically, any way our arm moves, we can work different areas of the body here. So let me show you. First of all, we've got a bicep curl. So just coming straight up, so if I show you side on, all our posture points are in mind. You'll notice that the elbow naturally moves forward, the chest is nice and open, the shoulder isn't forward rolled, but what I'm not doing is I'm not swinging at the body, I'm not using that extra momentum to get the band up, and I'm not moving at the shoulder. So all the movement is concentrated in the elbow there, and that's going to be a front of the arm strengthener there for you. Just be careful that you don't release the band like I just did there. Other moves that we've got in this position, many different shoulder strengtheners which can be really good for reaching above your head, for instance, into higher cupboards in the kitchen. So the main one here, I'd start with keeping the arm nice and close to the midline of the body, so the elbow's tucked in. All our posture points, again, tucking that tailbone in, looking forward, shoulders lightly rolled back, floating at the side of our rib cage there. And just naturally, in your own range of motion, that's the beauty of using the band, wherever feels comfortable for you, as long as you've been cleared to press above your head, of course. Really important to breathe in before you start, and then breathe out as you press above your head. Any way that your shoulder moves, as long as it's controlled, can work a different part of the shoulder. So if we're bending the elbow, if we raise out in front of us, just making sure that we don't let go of that band, bringing our palm up to the point until it's horizontally level with my shoulder, so my knuckles here are furthest away from the midline of my body, that's where the tension is going to be at its greatest. So this is working because we're raising to the front. You're going to feel the tension more in the front of your shoulder and your chest. If I want a little bit of a harder motion, because I'm coming further away from the midline of the body, it just shifts the tension into the middle part of the shoulder there, ideally getting to this point where the knuckles are furthest away from the midline of your body before they start getting closer to you again. Coming down nice and slow, not letting the band control you. You've got to control the band. You also get a nice bit of stabilization here on the side of the torso in this move, so you don't want to be swinging up or overcompensating. Other moves that we've got here as well, I'll show you one that's really simple to do for the back. So to get the big lats, the big muscles, the biggest muscles in our back here engaged, very simple. As long as we haven't got range of motion issues in this area, we can make the band nice and taut, so already our shoulder blades are engaged. All the posture points, as we've mentioned before, so stretch that band, make sure it's nice and taut. We're coming probably from like a superhero pose, I guess you could say, so arms diagonally up, and then we're pinching the shoulder blades, coming just under the chin, top of the chest, sternum area. As I pull back, I don't want to bring my hips forward, so I'm keeping everything. The torso is still, the body is still, keeping everything in place. You could strap this round as long as it was sensible. You could strap this round, depending on where you live, around a beam or around a safe part of a door or anything like that, but just be very aware, don't take any risks. So maybe like a clothes peg where you hang up your coat would be a really good example, and you can pull the band just like I did, but from this motion, so it would kind of look like this. Unfortunately, I don't have this. I don't have any area where I can do this properly. So there's some ideas there. Other things that I will say. So as long as you've got a safe grip, anything like tin foods, if you want to know how much they weigh, use the same tin each side, and you've got some scales, you can use those. They don't have to be conventional dumbbells, just be aware of your grip and that you don't drop them on your toes. And you've got all the same motions that we looked at again. So we've got our curls to the side. When we're coming to the side, it's really important that we've got a little bend in our elbows. If we come really straight, we lock out at the elbows, we're not really caring for the longevity of our elbow joints there. We're using our joints a little bit too much. To the front, above the head, being very aware of our body posture, keeping that tailbone lightly tucked in, that chest nice and proud. Breathing out as we press above our head. So there's just a few moves there that you can have a look at, whether you've got tins, resistance band, or just a nice safe wall, body weighted exercise as well. Fantastic.